is Mari Okada of Mari's Canine Crew here at the Valley Animal Center with another installment of Canine Crew tips for you and your dog. Today I'll be discussing and demonstrating leash training techniques, including loose leash walking techniques with my shelter dog assistant, Piper. Hi, my name is Mari Okada of Mari's Canine Crew. I'm a certified dog trainer and also a dog trainer here at the Valley Animal Center working with the shelter dogs. I'm here today to introduce some more Canine Crew tips. Today we'll be focusing on leash training, otherwise known as loose leash walking, training your dog how to walk on leash without pulling. I wanted to show you some of the recommended or preferred collars and leashes to use. This, of course, is your flat buckle standard collar. This one's made out of nylon. What I used when I was working with Piper is the slip leash, which looks like this. This goes around their neck, and as you can see, when they pull or you pull, it does cinch and it tightens around their neck so that they are secured. Next, we have the no slip collars. This is basically the same thing, it's nylon, but if you see here, it will adjust and it will cinch around your dog's neck a little bit more. On a walk, if your dog pulls and you think they're going to get out of their collar, it's kind of nice because it gives you that extra security. So here we have the martingale collar, very similar concept to the slip collar. Basically, it has a little bit of chain link here where your leash attaches, which will also cinch. But the nice thing about this is that it's nylon around their neck, so when it does cinch around your dog's neck, it's not as harsh as having just the chain would be. The next one I wanted to show you was the head collar, gentle leader head collar. This one is great. It's very effective if you have a dog that's really avid puller. Actually, this part here goes around their nose or muzzle, the base of their nose, and then here it connects, and this actually goes around the back of their head, right behind their ears. And then this is, of course, where you would attach your leash. So basically the concept is that where their nose goes, their body will follow. So you're leading them by their head. The first time they put it on, it might be a little uncomfortable. They're probably going to want to try and take it off. So one thing I do recommend is that when you're doing this, when you first put it on, before you take it on a walk, just have them wear it around the house, short periods at a time, and try and create a positive association with the head collar. So you want to praise them, give them treats, that type of thing, so that they have that more of a positive association before you just kind of put it on and take them out. I have a couple different harnesses here, of course, that go around the body. Your dog's head would be coming through this way. And holds their chest back here, which are really popular. A lot of people like this. Your leash pouches on the back right here. The next one I wanted to talk about was the choke chain. This is actually one that I don't recommend you use, especially since, as you've seen, there are quite a few products on the market, collars, leashes, that type of thing, that do the job. And when you're training with the techniques used, I don't really see the point in using this. However, I know that some people do. This is the same concept. It goes around the neck and it will basically cinch when they pull or when you pull. You want to be very, very careful because anytime you yank or pull with the chain, it can not just inflict pain, but it can cause damage to their neck or their trachea. So you definitely want to be very, very careful if you do use this. The last one I wanted to talk about was the prong collar. This one I also don't recommend using for the fact that it's basically the same concept. It goes around the neck, and then when it cinches, the prongs go into the neck. It not only causes your dog pain and discomfort, but once again, you want to be very, very careful because it can cause damage to their neck. One thing that I want to really reiterate is the fact that no matter what you're using, is that you're never just yanking or pulling on your dog's leash, because anytime you do that, it's almost like a punishment as opposed to a training method. If there's any type of pulling, it would be from your dog pulling. Once again, if we're using the positive reinforcement methods, we don't have to use such harsh, abrasive type of training tools. The way I hold the leash when working with the dogs is I basically, in my right hand, I hold the end of the leash where the loop is. And then with my other hand, I kind of grab the slack in the leash. So that way, with two hands, you have a lot more control and you can kind of work with both of them. I notice that with a lot of people that they only use one hand when holding the leash and they're kind of going this way or going like this, and it doesn't give you as much control at all. So if you have both hands and you can grab the slack in the leash with your left hand and then hold the end of the leash with your right hand, that gives you much more control and it's really effective. So. The first method is to simply stop. So when your dog pulls on leash, you're gonna stop. What I like to do is to just take a few steps at a time. As you're doing that, anytime your dog pulls, you're just gonna stop. And you're gonna wait for your dog to stop pulling, or preferably you're gonna wait for your dog to actually turn and look and make eye contact with you. What your dog is gonna eventually realize is that your dog is not in charge of the walk. You're in charge of the walk, and your dog will pay more attention to you. The second method is the turnaround method. What you do is as soon as your dog pulls, you're going to turn around and start walking in the other direction. This will not only force your dog to follow you, but your dog will also begin to pay more attention to you. So you can do this as many times as you need to, even if you're taking a couple steps at a time and turning around. Just do it. Teaching your dog, it doesn't happen overnight. This is something that every time you go on a walk, you'll have to reinforce every time, but it gets better and it gets easier. The more you do it with your dog, the better your dog will be. Your dog is going to learn to basically follow your lead. When your dog becomes very distracted while you're walking on leash, once again, just get their focus, get their attention back on you. If you have to stop or turn around until they regain focus, then do that. You want to make sure that they're paying as much attention to you as possible. Don't expect your dog to have a perfect heel at your side. This is just teaching your dog to walk with you and pay more attention to you and have slack in the leash as you're walking. Sometimes if you're turning to the left, use your leg. Your dog will more than likely want to pull out in front of you, so you can kind of body block. As you can see in this demonstration, it worked well with Piper. She caught on very quickly and she learned to kind of start reading my body language, not only look at me, but read my body language also. And she was prepared every time I went left and then of course I went right. And the other very important thing to remember as you're doing this is to use as much positive reinforcement as possible. So as you're doing this and your dog is paying more attention to you and your dog is not pulling on the leash or whenever there's slack on the leash, you definitely want to praise and reward your dog for this. It not only creates a positive association to loose leash walking, but your dog will actually choose to do the behavior that gives your dog the greater reward, which in this case would be love and praise. And of course, treats work great also. If you have treats and your dog is an avid puller, use those as well. Anytime they're doing a good job, you let them know that they're doing a good job, so that way they understand what you want of them and they're not just getting in trouble or getting punished for something they might not know that they're doing wrong. Training in general, I like to tell people to try and incorporate as much of it as possible just into your and your dog's schedule, because I know how hard it is for people to find time. So the basic training commands, focusing, stuff like that. Incorporate it during meal times, play times, walks, anytime that you're really interacting with your dog. The key is to do it consistently and to do it regularly, daily. This is Maria Okada of Maria's Canine Crew signing off with another installment of Canine Crew Tips for you and your dog. I hope this proves to be as effective for you as it has been for me. For more information or for more tips, check out the Valley Animal Center's YouTube site as well as Maria's Canine Crew website with the links below. Thank you.